Welcome back to Star Wars Rebellion. We're playing the base game. We're playing as the Empire, trying to find the Rebel base and destroy it. We're into the first phase of the first turn, which is the assignment phase. Rebels go first. They are going to assign leaders to missions. If they want, you can assign 1 or 2 to a single mission. We will get the chance to do the same thing after we see what the Rebels are up to. So sort of off screen we're going to do that. We're just going to zoom down on what they've got going in the assignment phase. Then we're going to take a look at our missions that we have and see what we want to do. We may want to counter some of the Rebel missions if they're doing things, or maybe we want to do some stuff on our own. I don't know. We're going to take a look right now at the Rebels and see what they got cooking for the first turn in the assignment phase. Well, it looks like the Rebels are jumping right out of the gate with a whole bunch of missions. Of course, there are 2 missions we don't know anything about. Then there's the 4 basic ones, which I didn't show you anyway. You'll see them revealed as we play the game. Again, we're playing from the Imperial perspective, so we're kind of trying to keep the Rebel stuff hidden. So yeah. So it looks like they're going out on 3 missions. Possibly, you don't have to. They can just pass and then the mission would go back in their hands. So I mean, this could be a fake out as well to try and get us, the Empire, to not go out and do a lot of missions because then we can't oppose them. So we have Mon Mothma going on a mission, Princess Leia, and General, forget his name. General, gosh, I guess I should look a little closer. Riekman? They're all out on missions. All right, let's go over to the Imperial area. We're going to look at our missions or look at our leaders and see what we want to do. So we've got a couple powerful diplomats out there, and we've got kind of a wimpy guy. However, let's go and see what we want to do for our missions for assignment. All right, so what we have is we have a bunch of stuff here that we can do. Of course, we have 6 cards. We can gather intel if we want to do that mission, attempt in any Rebel system. If successful, draw a probe card for the 4 Rebel units in the Rebel base. That would be drawing 1 card. We have Ruler by Fear. We could probably send Palpatine out to do this in any populous system that contains an Imperial unit. We would have to, of course, move an Imperial unit to a system first, and if it's successful, gain loyalty. Now, the thing is, they pumped out pretty much all their leaders. I mean, we could go ahead and do this with Palpatine because there's really nobody to oppose us. Or we could even send Darth Vader on this one to go ahead and do that. So we could capture a Rebel operative. We could send Darth Vader out on this one. And when we have one of the leaders out there, Leia or Mon Mothma, we can go and attempt to capture them. So there's that. We can research and develop as well as choose a system that has Imperial loyalty. Choose one of the following. We can draw 2 project cards, choose one, keep the place the other in the bottom, or we can remove a sabotage marker. We have no sabotage markers that we know of yet, so this might be a good one to do. And display of power. Attempt in any populous system. If successful, gain 2 loyalty in the system. We could go ahead and try and crush one of the Rebel systems and gain loyalty for ourselves for it. And there's Kashyyyk, we could do that too, or Naboo, and even Bothwell, I think we can do that too. So these are the options we have, and I'm kind of, I don't know, I think we should almost be opposing stuff, but we also need to gain loyalty. I think we're going to try, oh man, I'm going to turn the camera off. Sorry, I'm just and think about what it is we want to do. If we don't do any missions right now, we can probably oppose pretty much everything the Rebels are trying to do, but we should get something done. I'm going to turn this off, do a little bit of thinking, or come back and assign some missions if we want to. Oh boy, okay, this is kind of wimpy, but I think we're just going to go and do some secret weapons research. I'm going to leave this face up because we are playing as the Empire, so it doesn't make any sense to flip it face down. And we're going to resolve it, and it just resolves, so this is just happening. We resolve in any Imperial system, and we draw 2 project cards. Boom, done. So we're going to draw project cards. Lets us build things like a second Death Star, maybe Super Star Destroyers, all kinds of cool things we can do with that. So we're going to just not do anything else with these, and that'll leave us some characters to move things along. So we do need this symbol here to do it. So we can either use Tarkin or Tage. I think we're going to go ahead and use Tage. Tarkin's better. I think well, maybe he's not better at fighting. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and assign him to that. We're going to leave our other leaders alone for now to oppose the rebel missions. So these are the 3 leaders. We have Darth Vader, Palpatine, Tarkin, that we can use to oppose what's going on with the rebels. All right, that's the assignment phase very quickly. So up next is going to be the command phase, starting with the rebels. They can either move their leader to a system, start moving units, or do a mission, or pass. So let's see what they want to do. Alright, it's the rebels' turn, and they're not doing a mission. They're actually going to activate a system with the leader. They're going to use their leader here to go ahead and activate Rhodia. And we're going to, once you activate a system, put a leader in there, and then you can move troops from an adjacent location into this space. So we're going to take the troop transport. The rebels are moving a troop transport over, and an X-Wing fighter over here to Rhodia. And let's see, I don't think X-Wings, no, X-Wings can fly on their own. Everything can fly. The transport can carry 4 units. 4 units, and it will take 2 of the rebel troopers and drop it right here on Rhodia. So they're just kind of shoring that up for whatever reason. I don't know what they're up there. They're leaving a snowspeeder, rebel unit, Corellian cruiser, and a Y-wing in Bodia. So that was their opening action. I do not believe this becomes loyal or anything. They have to do an actual diplomatic mission in there. For whatever reason, they have moved troops over to Rhodia planet. All right, it's time now for the Imperials take a turn. We just go back and forth. So we start with the rebels, rebels, Imperials until we both pass, and then that would put us into the refresh phase. So let's see what we're going to do as the Empire. Oh dear, we're all about subjugating planets and taking them over. So we're going to do the similar thing. We're going to take Tarkin here, and we're going to activate a system with him. And of course you can't activate a system unless you have command card abilities down here at the bottom. So for instance, just looking at Mon Mothma, she cannot go ahead and activate a system and move ships in it. Only leaders that have the numbers at the bottom can do that. So we're going to go and we're going to hit up Naboo. So we're going to take Tarkin in there. He's going to take the Imperial Star Destroyer, cruise on in. He's going to take, he's going to take the couple of TIE fighters with him. Imperial Star Destroyers, I believe, can carry 6. Yeah, they can carry 6 units. TIE fighters have to be carried on that unit. So we're going to take a couple of troopers, and we're just going to dump them down there. So we've taken 4 units with the Imperial Star Destroyer. We have to leave a unit on Sullust, or we will not have it. It will not remain subjugated. It will flip back to neutral. So we're leaving an ATST there. So we cruise over in our Imperial Star Destroyer, and there you have it. No battles happening because there's no other units there. We will subjugate the system right now, though, because we've landed troops on the planet. So we're going to leave the Rebel Alliance marker there, but we're going to put a subjugation marker on top. What that basically does is going to stop the rebels from building anything in Naboo. They would have actually got a couple of units built in the queue, but now they are not, because we have just stopped them with Tarkin and subjugated the planet. All right, back we go now to the rebels. See what else they want to do. They've got 3 leaders on 3 missions, and that's basically, unless they want to pass, but I would doubt it. So let's see what else they want to do next. All right, it looks like the rebels are going to be doing a sabotage action, the scum. Attempt in any populous system. I'm going to send in Rakin here. If successful, place a sabotage marker in the system. The marker prevents players from building units, from deploying units in the system. So they can't build units and they can't deploy, and we would put a sabotage marker on. If it's successful, we do have as the Empire, we have Darth Vader, and we have Palpatine that can stop what's happening. So let's go see which system they're going to sabotage. This on any populous system. So let's go ahead and place the rebel leader down, and we can oppose him if we want. We're going to see if we want to do that. So let's see which system the rebels are trying to sabotage. All right, so the rebels cruise on in here to Corellia with their leader. They are making an attempt to sabotage Corellia because it builds, we would be building TIE fighters and a Star Destroyer there in the refresh phase. Looks like the rebels want to blow up our industry here, or at least sabotage it for the time being. So we can't do that. However, we can put a leader in there to oppose that, or we can just let them have it and keep Darth Vader and Palpatine to try and oppose Leia and Mon Mothma. But I kind of want to have the capacity to build there. So you know what? We're going to throw Darth Vader in there. He's like, you are not sabotaging here. So anyway, we're going to have Darth Vader. So we're going to be looking at the mission itself. Oh, hang on. I don't think he can oppose that because he does not have... oh, no. I'm sorry. So the sabotage is the fist icon. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're going to use. So he has one. Darth Vader can indeed come into Corellia and oppose this. So we're going to be doing an opposing dice roll. Basically, the rebels are going to be rolling 1 die for the one fist, and Darth Vader is going to be rolling 3 to oppose him. When you're opposing a mission, if you have equal or more successes than the person trying to do the mission, it fails. So basically, Riken has to roll more successes than Vader. He's rolling 1 die, Vader's rolling 3. Let's get out the dice tray and see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to be using the red dice for... who do I want to use the red dice for? I think the Empire is black. So we're going to use red for the rebels. So the rebels are going to be rolling only 1 die, and Darth Vader will be rolling 3. So we got Empire 3 dice, rebels 1, and we have a direct hit, which is a 1 success. So basically it doesn't happen because the rebels got no successes. Even if this had been a blank, all no successes, it still would have failed because we've opposed it, and they have to... The mission leader has to roll more than that. And I forgot that I was going to roll an 8-sided die to see where we were going to infiltrate. I didn't. We just took over Naboo. So I'm already going back on what I said I was going to do. All right. Well, sabotage has failed. And because it was one of these recurring missions, this just goes back into the rebels' hand. So we'll just do that now so don't forget. And up next we have the Empire going. So we either have to pass, move into a system with Palpatine, or you do our secret research. I think we're going to do our secret research. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do this, and it just says resolve in any Imperial system. So the rebels, even if they had any leaders left in their pool, could not stop this from happening. This is just going to happen. We do have to place Sabotage into a system, though, to draw 2 cards. So any Imperial system, we're just going to put him at Coruscant. It's the main Imperial stronghold. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to draw 2 project cards. Alright, so in the heart of the Empire, we have Targe here, and he is doing some research and development. So we will be drawing 2 project cards. So we'll just draw 2 off the top of the deck. Now let's see what we have. We can keep them both, too, which is cool. And I gotta have to look at the 10 card limit. I don't know if project cards plus mission cards is a 10 card limit or not. And this will be discarded as well because it is not the flip mission. So this one gets discarded. I'm going to, I guess it would discard it out of the game. It is finished with. So this is a one-shot thing. So let's see what we've got for research. We have Oversea Project. Alright, ooh, this looks menacing. Let's see here, and it costs 1 of that to do. Resolve in any system that contains an Imperial unit and no Rebel units. Choose 1 Imperial unit on space 1 or 2 of the build queue and deploy it in this system. Oh, so we can jump ahead of the queue and put a unit in that system. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a neat ability. And we have Construct a Superstar Destroyer. Again, resolve in any Imperial system that has a blue square resource icon, which is Corellia at the moment, I think, is our only one. Place a Superstar Destroyer on space 3 of the build queue. Right on. Alright, so these are our 2 projects that we've gotten now to go along with the rest of our stuff. That's very cool. Research. Alright, back we go now to the Rebels. they have a couple of missions that I think they're going to be going on. We only have Palpatine left in our leader pool to oppose whatever they're doing. One of their 2 missions is not going to be opposed, so I don't know which one they're going to do next. Let's find out. And of course, I should mention, as soon as we land ground troops on a planet, we ask the rebels, is your rebel base here? It is not. So once again, I'm going to put one of these little fish tank markers on here. We know that Naboo is not the rebel base. All right, back we go now to the rebels. They are going to be taking another turn, doing another action here. They're either going to be doing a mission with Mon Mothma, a mission with Princess Leia, or passing. That's their 3 options. Let's see what they want to do. Back now to the rebels. They have 2 leaders to go. They have no leaders left in their pool. They're going to go ahead and do the Princess Leia mission. And let's have a look and see what it is. They're going to incite a rebellion attempt in any subjugated system. So this is an attempt. We can block it, try to, with Palpatine. Keeping in mind, we still have Mon Mothma on some other mission here. We don't know what it is. Let's see here. If successful, gain 3 rebel troopers in this system, then resolve a combat. All right, they're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to find out where, and we have to decide if we want to use Palpatine to try and thwart the incite rebellion. We can stop it from happening, or whether we want to save Palpatine for Mon Mothma. All right, let's go to the board and see where they want to try that. Alright, so it looks like over in Sullust here, we're going to have Princess Leia trying to incite a rebellion. So this is a subjugated system, as you can see, and Princess Leia there is trying to incite a rebellion. So we can either try to block it with Palpatine, or we can just let it slide. And keeping in mind, if we have no units on a planet here, when it is subjugated, it will revert to neutral status. So that might be what Leia is trying to do. We did move our ships and stuff out of there to go to Naboo. So, oh man, I don't know, this is tough. I think we're going to wait for Mon Mothma. I don't know what she's got up her sleeve. It's probably worse than this. So we're going to let that slide. And so we're just going to get into a battle now, because it says, if successful, gain 3 rebel troopers in the system, then resolve a combat. So we're going to see combat happening. So I got to get out 3 rebel troopers, though. And they get right in here in this subjugated system, and we incite a rebellion with the people here. All right, so combat, how does it work? Well, we can, of course, once there's a combat, we can actually put a leader in there. So we could go ahead and get Palpatine to go in there. That's kind of not what I want to do, though. And Princess Leia is going to get 1 card for space combat. There's going to be no space combat, and 1 combat card for ground combat. And that's going to be it. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to back the camera because we have to get out the dice tray. We're going to have to start rolling some dice and see how combat operates. Alright, so I back the camera a little bit. So we have a ground combat deck, and because Princess Leia here has got a 1 here, she's going to get 1 of these cards. Gives them a buff or a boost during ground combat. Of course, we as the Empire are not going to know what it is. So yeah, that's what they get to use during combat. And we as the Empire have no cards. We do have an AT-ST, so we're going to take a look at the attack combat ability of the rebel troopers, and then we're going to take a look at our combat ability for the AT-ST. So if we look at the Rebel Alliance card here, we can see the rebel troopers have 1 black health, and they will be rolling 1 black die. So they're going to get 3 black dice to roll against the AT-ST. And let's go take a quick look at the AT-ST and see what they need to destroy it. Alright, so if we take a look at our AT-ST, it rolls 1 black die, 1 red die, and you need 2 red hits. And you're thinking, well, if we're rolling black dice, how do we get red die hits? Well, if we get this direct hit symbol, this counts as either a black or a red hit. So if the rebel troopers end up getting 2 of those, assigning it to our AT-ST, they'll destroy it. So we are going to be rolling a black and a red. So we're going to go ahead and do the rebel attack first, assign any hits, and then we're going to have our AT-ST combat back with a black and a red die. So things heating up. The rebels getting kind of feisty here. So they're going to be rolling 3 black die, 1 for each of their troopers, and they get a crossed lightsaber symbol, and that's it. I don't think that counts as 2 hits. I have to double check that. I think it just, but it counts as 2 hits. I think I'm gonna have to double check the rules. We didn't get any direct hits though. Okay, with that symbol, we can draw a tactic card for the rebels. They can draw a tactic card, so I think they're going to spend that. They're going to draw a tactics card. So, of course, we're in the ground combat. Oh, I reach over, they're going to grab another tactics card. Of course, we're not going to know what it is. And then they can play any of the tactics cards they want. So they are going to go ahead and play this one, which is re-roll up to 2 of your dice. So they're going to play Concentrated Fire. They're going to re-roll the 2 misses. And they end up getting a 1 hit. And yeah, then they're going to have to play Critical Hit, deal 1 damage. Alright, so we're going to put 1 damage now over on the ATST. It can take a total of 2 hits before it's destroyed. So the ATST has been damaged by the rebel troopers, but it gets to fire back. And it's going to be firing back. Of course, these cards are spent. And you do not keep getting cards at each combat round. You just spend them. They get shuffled back into the combat deck. And that's it. So that's the end of card playing. But now us as the rebels, our ATST is going to be rolling a black die, a red die. And again, on these rebel troopers, we need a black die hit to actually hit them. So let's go ahead and roll up for the ATST. It's simultaneous combat. So we get 1 direct hit. We're going to assign that, of course, to 1 of the troopers. They only have 1 health, and it is going to be destroyed. So we end up getting rid of 1 of the rebel scum. We have a damaged ATST. So now combat's just going to go back and forth. There's retreating rules, but there's no ships. There's nowhere to retreat. We actually have a uprising happening. So let's just go ahead. They're going to be rolling again 2 black die, attacking the ATST. They need a direct hit, and they get 2 hits. But because they're black, and you need a red hit for an ATST, those are not going to count for anything. The ATST will then fire back. We want to hang on to that unit if we can. And the ATST gets this symbol, which lets us draw a tactic card. So we'll go ahead and draw a random tactic card for the Empire. What do we get? We get reroll up to 2 of your dice. Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and spend that right now because we want to re-roll this and get another hit on the rebel scum. And what do we get? We get draw another tactics card. Let's go ahead and draw another tactics card. I'm taking it from the bottom of the deck and putting the spent ones on the top. All right, another tactics card, which is we have to have the symbol draw 2 tactics cards from either deck or 1 from each. So we're going to hang on to that tactics card because the battle's still raging. So we go into another round of combat. They still have 2 troopers. If they get a direct hit, they're going to destroy our ATST. They get a couple of blanks. All right, are we going to stop this uprising? Wow, this is tense. All right, we get black and red. We get this symbol, which we will then use for our strategy card. You see, they just go back and forth. Draw 2 tactics cards from either deck, or 1 from each. We're going to draw 2 tactics cards, of course, from the ground tactics. So you can see how we end up getting a bunch of tactic cards. And what do we get for the Empire? We get deal damage equal to the red attack value of 1 of your ships. We don't have any ships. That was a ground combat. Okay, interesting. I guess it's an orbital bombardment. Or deal 1 damage. Cool. So we're going to play that right now. We're going to deal 1 damage. Boom. And that's going to be another rebel scum taken care of. They're down to just 1 black die rolling against our red and our black. Again, if they get a direct hit, they're trying to take out that ATST. And they get a blank. All right, come on. We got to get rid of them. Nice try, Leia. Let's see what happens here. And we get a black hit and a red hit. The black hit is enough to take out the rebel scum. So our ATST survived. Wow. I don't know how we managed to pull that off, but we somehow did. So the Empire still has the planet subjugated. At the end of the battle, there's no more units left. Of course, all damage gets repaired. So we came very close to losing our ATST, losing the subjugated system. Nice try, Leia. It did not work. Right on. So we didn't actually use, we didn't have to actually burn Palpatine to try and block that. So he's still available for the Mon Mothma. All right, so we go back to the Empire now to continue on. And basically for the Empire, we have Palpatine. We could use him. Okay, the bombardment goes away as well. I forgot. We could use Palpatine to activate a system, move ships into, like we could move the Death Star over to Kashyyyk or something like that. But I want to pass, and you can still use your leaders to counter activities. So we're going to go ahead and pass that. And then we're back over to the Imperial player. They can either pass or do the mission that Mon Mothma's on. Alright, the Rebels have one more mission they can complete or work on if they want to, or they can pass. Of course, they are going to go ahead and try this. Let's take a look at it. It is Establish Trade Relations. Okay, it's a good thing we saved Palpatine to try to block this. This does not sound good. So, it says, attempt in any system that does not contain a sabotage marker. That's basically every system on the board. If successful, gain a loyalty. Well, we can't do it at Coruscant. Coruscant can never gain loyalty. And place units on the build queue using the system's resource, icons, and number. Wow! Alright, where's Mon Mothma going to go and try to complete that mission? And I hope this is going to focus. So, Mon Mothma is going to go all the way up to Mon Calamari. Try and get the fish dudes to join the Rebel Alliance. But, of course, we as the Empire are going to oppose it with Palpatine. He also has 3 symbols for negotiation, so we're going to try to block that. So we're going to get out the dice tray. It's going to be a 3 against 3 roll, and we're going to see if we can block Mon Mothma from doing that, establishing trade relations with Mon Calamari. Alright, and just so things can focus a little better, I put it on this part of the map, which is not quite near Mon Calamari, it's quite a bit farther south. So we're going to use the black dice for the Palpatine, we're going to use the red dice for Mon Mothma, and we're going to see who gets the most successes. Remember, if there's a tie, then the mission fails. So, oh, heck yes. Do not mess with Palpatine. We smoke Mon Mothma as far as this goes. She got no successes at all. We got 2. So, yep, blocked. That does not happen. I'm actually glad we saved Palpatine now to block that. All right. And I guess that's the end. Well, we would go back to the Imperials now. This, of course, is discarded because it has been failed. So not only did they not incite a rebellion, they didn't establish trade routes either. All right, we're going to back the camera out and get going on the next phase. One little correction and clarification here, just which I completely missed, but it better be cleared up here. So we took Mon Mothma on this mission for the Rebels, and you can see her image here on this mission. This means that because Mon Mothma went on the mission, anyone can do this mission, but because she went on it, 2 automatic successes without the dice rolls at all. So, but the mission's gonna fail anyway because Mon Mothma got 0 successes plus 2, and Palpatine also rolled 2 successes. So 2 and 2 is a tie. If there's a tie, the mission fails. Just thought I would clear that up right now. Alright, the Rebel scum didn't get much done that episode, did they? They actually tried to establish trade routes. Failed. Palpatine put a stop to that, and Darth Vader stopped Princess Leia from inciting revolt. Well, from doing the Corellia mission with Riken. Riken? Never get this guy's name right. Riken. Okay. Darth Vader stopped that. Princess Leia tried to incite a revolution there. Didn't really work because her AT-ST unit actually defeated the 3 rebels that showed up there. It was a close call, but we still remain in control of that. So up next, in our next episode, I'm going to end off here. It's gone on quite long enough. We'll be going through the entire refresh phase, and that's going to take quite a while because it has to do with building and doing a whole bunch of other things that we're going to have to look at a little more closely and getting some more leaders to start joining us as well. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Star Wars Rebellion. We're playing as the Empire. We're trying to find where the Rebels have their base and destroy it. Well, I mean, we can try to destroy it with the Death Star, or we can just find it with troops and crush them. that is the plan. So thanks so much. We'll see you next time for the continuation of Star Wars Rebellion. We're playing as the Empire.